Sport and Geof's Garage. My Garage Rules is proudly sponsored by You Pull It, Sprint Auto Parts, Newlon Oils, Auto Transformers, Dickies Clothing Australia, Blue Wire Motorsport, and Geof's Garage. Well, hi everyone, welcome to My Garage Rules. Well, tonight we're in for a jam-packed show. I know I say that every week, but trust me, this is a really good episode. Check it out.
I get this strange sensation coming over me when I come to pick you up from your job at KFC. There's nothing but roadworks and damn red lights, and if I don't get a green one, road rage, baby, trying to get to you. Road rage, honey, the thing the man will
Well, last time we spoke to Dave Mower, we were cruising around in a 32 Ford. Well, mate, you said you had something in your garage, and we thought we'd come and have a look. Now, it's not the one that you've been investigated for, but it's actually this over here, mate. This is great.
That's right. This is a 1950 Mercury.
No.
Yeah.
It's a four-door as well, I noticed,
And
too.
a four-door, yeah. Something
More
different.
doors are good doors, mate. That's
right.
Now, it's obviously a suicide door as well, so that's got to be cool.
That's correct, yes. I like to be a bit different, so that's why I'm going to keep it a four-door and be my family car.
Now, we've got to mention too that it is a metal finished car, like it's all down bare metal. Now, you have been working on it. We should be using gloves when we're touching it because of the oils in our hands and everything. It's going to put marks all over it. But you have done a lot of work on this car.
That's correct, yeah. It's, where do you start?
Well, let's start with the chop. How much chop have you taken out of this thing?
Okay, this has been chopped 4 inches.
Is that because of your height, so you can fit in?
Yeah, I'm short, yeah.
Sorry, for all those short people out there, I do apologise. Small things come in good packages, and why not?
Exactly, yeah.
No, good things come in small packages. I'm confused anyway, but the whole thing's been chopped about 4 inches, you say?
That's correct, yeah.
So what have you done with the dash there too? Looks like you've done some sort of stylish pods there.
Okay, it was obviously left-hand drive originally, and it being a 50, it had the original 50 dash in it. So I had to transfer it to right-hand drive. So I made my own pods to suit my own gauges, so I could run it right-hand drive. So
Now, look, the dash is just beautiful in the way you've done that. There's a lot of work in that, but we've got to explain too, there's a lot of conduit through the whole car here, and that's just to strengthen up the body as you do the chop and everything. Just tell us about the rear window. Why have you done all that strengthening there as well?
okay, that is in there to retain the main shape of the back original window, because it is a curved window.
It normally sits a bit higher too, doesn't it?
Yeah, normally
Steep,
it does,
isn't it?
but because we've lowered it 4 inches, we've dropped the whole thing down, and we've kept the original shape, so we can use the original window.
Well, that's good. Well, actually, by doing that, you're actually retaining the sort of that factory look, aren't you?
That's correct,
With the
yeah,
4-inch
for the
chop,
side,
which is
yeah,
great.
yeah.
Now, the motor under there, mate. Now, probably have a quick look at that. It's still in its build stage there, but what sort of motor are we running?
Well, that's a 350 Chev with a turbo 350 9-inch diff. It's got a Jag front end in it.
So you're keeping it pretty simple, really, because you're going to drive the wheels off this thing, aren't you?
Pretty much, yeah. This is going to be my family car. So it's got air conditioning, it's got
How many
power
kids?
steering, 3 kids.
Oh, well, they'll definitely fit in here, mate. What about the wife? She's going to go in the front, obviously.
Yeah, wife and the dog.
Oh, good. Now, look, we were mentioning about the suicide doors. That's really cool. But also the tail lights on the back. Now, they're a 39 teardrop, yeah?
That's correct, yeah.
Wow, where'd you get those from? They look really cool.
Well, in actual fact, they were actually left over from the build from the hot rod.
Oh, okay, because
Yeah,
you've had many hot rods in your build time.
Yeah. And I was originally going to run 39 tail lights in the coupe, but because everyone runs 39 tail lights
Why not try them on this? Something a
in
bit
hot
different.
rods, I thought, well, let's run them in the Merc. So
All right, well, look, I noticed you got the Chop T-shirt on there, mate, and I've seen you there as well, and I love the
Yeah.
show. Now, you trying to get this ready for Chop maybe for this year? Or is it maybe next year?
well, the plan is, as you've probably noticed, I've got a car in the back there.
I was just looking at that. Now, let's have a quick chat about that. Now, that's a, what is that called?
That's a 60 Vauxhall.
It's just a personal joke. We're trying to figure out what it was before. It is a 60s Vauxhall, and it's a Cresta too, isn't it?
A Cresta, yeah.
Beautiful lines on this thing. Now, are we going to be turning this into something funky?
Yes, we are. This is going to be a gasser,
Yes!
an early 60s gasser.
Beautiful, that's going to be awesome.
Yeah, and the plan is to have this as the tow car, family car, with the gasser on the back.
Oh man, that's going to be awesome. Hey, look, this is great. You've let us come here to your garage to have a look at all the beautiful Merc you got here. The Cresta. I mean, you've basically shown us what you're all about and your passion, and I really appreciate letting us come and have a look.
Not a problem, thank you.
Well, tonight, as you can see behind me on the screen, we're here to see the Snake and Mongoose movie, the drag movie, which has been travelling all around Australia. I'd like to thank Luke from Fuel Magazine for letting us see it. So let's go and have a look. We're going to see it, aren't we? We're not allowed to see it? Okay. We're not going to see it. We're going to go and have a look at the cars that are here. Then can we see it? No? Okay.
Well, I'm here to say that I want to. It's a jungle out there. Well, I know it's true. I've seen my share. Got a monkey live next to me. Well, through the witch doctor down the street. I'll be away. It's a jungle out there. I've seen cats run out of class. I've been bitten by a snake in the grass. I'll be away. It's a jungle out there. Caveman across the way, it built this parlor. Tarzan must be lurking here too, 'cause I can hear him holler. There's a wild beast that's on the loose way. He knows every excuse. I'll be away. It's a jungle out there. Everyone was that night there, rocking in mobs, solo and pairs. The band was loud, the beer was cold, but he didn't care, he couldn't make it. He was making it with a lady proud and fair. Well, the gig was off, the night was born, folks all dancing on the lawn, rocked in late, gave hands and shakers, and I'm sorry but my loyalties were torn. I couldn't make it, I was making it, and I'm going back at dawn. I was making it, but I dug the night like dirt. Ow! They'll be making it, and their heads are feeling light. We won't make it, we'll be making it, so baby, hold me tight. Some people search the world for diamonds, some people search the world for gold. Well, I may bet not just have those riches, but I want a woman to hold. I want a woman to hold. Some people search the world for riches, like sex and satin so fine. I'm not stopping till I find that woman I can love and call mine. I can love and call mine. Well, I climb to the top of a high mountain and down to the bottom of a deep sea. If I could just find me a woman there who would fall in love with me, fall in love with me. Well, I tried a lot of women, but I couldn't find one with a heart that good too.
We've all done it before. We've all fallen in love with a car on the internet. We've been like searching for ages for that car that makes you want to fall in love. And this is a story about how love went bad for me and how hopefully everyone can learn from those lessons and not let it happen to them. It's 2009, December 2009. I was on the internet, found a picture of this car, fell in love. It was in America, in Kentucky. So I organised to purchase it. My name's Geof, the owner's name was Geof. I sent photos of myself, he sent photos of himself. So I built up a bit of a bond, a bit of a trust with the guy. Google Earthed his house, I knew where he lived, I could see the barn. He sent me a photo of him standing in front of the car with the dog and everything. So I couldn't have someone go look at the car because he was the other side of the world, but I did as much information and as much research as I could to make sure I was getting the car that I was buying. So we bought the car. I got a friend of mine like Phil Hart to import it from the US, so I had to go from Kentucky to California, from California into Australia. So that all went pretty smooth. When the car's on the boat, I've rung Geof and I've said, hey, the car's on the way. Is there anything I need to buy for the car before I get it here? No, perfect car. You won't have to spend a cent on it. I was a bit wary because I've never ever bought a car that I didn't have to spend a cent on. Anyway, get the car, didn't get here till May, no big deal. Picked up the car, drove it from Monopara to my friend's workshop at Richmond. On the way there, the steering on it was really bad. It was like one of the wheels was loose or it needed a really bad wheel alignment. Later on, turned out the tyres were just no good. Get it on the hoist to have a look underneath. That's when I've realised I'd been stitched. The underneath of the car, all the floor, that needed replacing. There was rust everywhere. It had a patch panel in the passenger side front and they hadn't even cut out the floor. They just, where the rust was, they just like bent the rust and put another panel over it, a little bit of weld, a couple of PK screws, and that was all it did. That was their form of rust repair. So I found a few other things wrong with the car. Get in contact with the old owner in America, phone's disconnected, doesn't answer his emails, so I knew I was on my own. So then I had to make the decision, do I fix the car or do I sell the car? So what I did then, went to Regency Park, basically got a to-do list. Put it up on the hoist, they had a look at it. I needed to spend another $10,000, $15,000 on the car to get it good enough to pass Regency inspection. So I made the call to keep the car because if I'd have tried to sell it, I would have been selling someone else a lemon. So it took me a while. I found a guy called Steve Gagliardi and he'd actually just put a floor in another 69 Camaro. So I had a joke with him and said, oh, you've practiced on the other one, now you can get it right on this one and you can do it in half the time. And I must admit, he did a really good job. I stripped the car, engine, gearbox, everything out of it, the whole front end out of it, and he basically had the back end of the car and the rolling chassis. So I got the call from Steve. He said, you better come up and have a look at this. So we knew we had to replace the floor, but an even more major component than the floor was this cowl panel here. So the whole cowl panel here, where the windscreen goes, and where the ID plate goes, and where the VIN number and everything is stamped, that whole big panel there, that needed replacing. Also, there's some half moon panels that go here, either side, they needed replacing. No big deal, but more money, more time, but you know, I wanted to get this car right. One of the handy things about that was when we started pulling the car apart, on the Z28 Camaros, the body number is stamped in a few places. So the more we pulled the car apart, the more we found these body numbers. So then we knew it was a genuine Z28 Camaro. So that was good. We knew it was worth investing the money in it. So once we'd realised that all these panels at the front needed replacing, and we knew it had rear quarter panels, we had to look at the rear quarter panel workmanship. And we knew they hadn't done a great job on the front and the floor, so let's look at this rear quarter panel. they hadn't done that properly either. So basically Steve had to re-weld in the whole rear quarter panel, and there's also a join up here between the roof and the quarter panel, and they hadn't done a great job on that either. And you could tell because when the car came in, the paint was okay, but you could just start to see some cracks here. So basically we had to grind that out and re-weld that up and join that again properly. So because we had to do that, that sort of led me to the decision, well, it looks like we're gonna have to paint it as well. So it starts off a car, you won't have to spend any money on it. Straight away, I'm up for like another $15,000 with all the body and paint. That's what you got to do, you know, to make your dreams come true, I suppose. That's what I had to do. So the moral of the story is, don't be a bull at the gate. Take your time, do as much research as you can. Find someone that you trust in America to actually go and have a look at the car before you buy it. Because as you can see, you know, they're just trying to sell you a car. And if the car's on a boat in another country, they don't really care. They've got your money. So after 3 years, a lot of time, a lot of money, do I think it was all worth it? I'll let you decide.
Saw you in the light of the cigarette machine. You caught my eye with your painted on jeans. You were short of change, I knew it was fake. My heart started pounding like a bull at a gate. All I needed was a little Dutch courage. All I needed was a drink or two. All I needed was a little Dutch courage. I'm gonna be coming home with you.
Well, hi everyone, welcome to the Custom Culture Weekender, and I'm here with Keith Weesner, a special guest here. How are you, mate?
Great, how are you doing?
Good. Look, just tell us firstly, for those people that have been living on Mars or under a rock, what do you do?
Well, I do paintings of vintage cars and scenes and pinup girls and anything that's fun and vintage that catches my eye, and I like to fit together into a picture that will excite people and they can put it on their wall. And
So, how did it all start for you? What made you start drawing?
I've always drawn since I was a little bitty kid, and my father was an artist and he was into hot rods and customs and any kind of old design and streamlined modern stuff from the 30s, and just I learned about all that stuff from him. Just anything that was interesting, 20th century design or cars or anything to do with that, he, you know, taught me about that. So that's how I got started doing that, and then it kind of all came together later, and you know.
And sort of melded and came together to one big giant career. Now you also, was it Warner Brothers that you worked for as well?
Yeah, I worked for Warner Brothers doing background designs for television cartoons for about 13 years.
13 years, what was that like?
Well, it was fun. It was like I was an architect, but not a real architect.
Yeah.
I was kind of a pretend architect.
Yeah.
I could just build any kind of funny buildings I wanted, and then, you know, no one complained because it was a cartoon. So, you know.
A bit of fun. Now look, for the viewers out there as well, you're not just an artist, you've also into your cars as well. So what do you got back at home?
Well, I have a chopped 50 Ford that's sort of an early 50s Barris style, and I have a Model A Roadster that's getting redone right now. It had a little accident, but
Yeah, we talked about that.
yeah, right.
It's not your fault.
Yeah.
But look, you've been here, this is your 4th time here in Australia, so you just love the place, or we just keep inviting you back, or you just love the place? Or
It seems like right now, for one reason or another, most of the people, like if I get an order on my website, it's usually from Australia. It seems like that's where my audience is right now, you know?
Now, you've had a bit of a walk around. I grabbed you from outside from grabbing a nice beverage, and what do you think of some of the stuff we've got out here today?
Oh, great! Yeah, I've known people here for a long time, and they always send me photos of what they're building, and we're always talking about stuff in one way or another. Even though I'm not here, I kind of, oh yeah, I know about that car, you know. So,
And you're here the whole weekend selling your stuff as well. So you got T-shirts and prints to sell.
yes.
Oh, fantastic! And you got your own website. You want to mention that?
Oh yeah, it's just my name, www.keithweesner.com.
Fantastic. And we've got to mention too, you just had a little baby.
Yeah.
Missing her at the moment.
I have a 6-month-old daughter named Violet Marie.
And you're missing her?
Yeah, it's hard to be away from her, but, you know.
Well, look, we really appreciate you coming down and showing your art and everything. And for those people that are down here today, they're going to see your art, they can buy some stuff off you, Will, and meet the man himself. And we thank you for coming back to Australia.
All right, thanks a lot.
Thank you. Cool.
Coming home with you. All I need was a little Dutch current. All I need is a drink or two. All I need is a little Dutch current. I'm gonna be ordering a cab for two. Yeah!
Hey, hi everyone. Hey, look, I'm here with Tiki Sam. How you going, mate?
Good. How are you, Brendan?
Good, mate. What are you doing here?
Helmet for someone that I know.
Oh, okay. So we've done a bit of one shot.
Yes, bit of one shot. Yes, and just on a metal flake helmet for your lovely self.
Oh, sorry, it's for me. Yes, I forgot. Yes, I should have said that at the beginning. But, mate, look, tell us, how did it all start for you with pinstriping?
Oh, just I've always loved the artwork of cars and stuff, and the stuff you see people, what's on the cars and stuff, and people you meet, and fell in love with that.
So this is like really based on like the old school scrolling they used to do on trucks and boats and the old coachworks, that sort of thing. So were you a sign writer as well?
Yes, I'm a sign writer by trade. As well.
How long have you done that for?
I did that straight from high school. But I've had other jobs since then. But yeah, so now I do this for love now. So yeah.
Now the reason we call him Tiki Sam is because you just love tikis.
That's it. Pretty much.
Pretty crazy, and you've done an absolute awesome job on here, mate. So what is it about the one-shot paint? Why is it so good?
Actually, my friend just here
This friend here.
He put me onto it. I used to use just normal solver, but yeah, now I use one shot. It just covers a lot better, and it's just an easier paint to use.
So where's one shot? Is one shot American-based?
Yes, yeah, lead-based paint.
So what's the future hold for Tiki Sam, mate? What do you want to do?
Just a lot more for everyone. I just love doing it. So yeah.
So I saw you recently. You liked a bit of that fish scaling stuff as well. So is that something you want to get into as well?
Yeah, I'd love to start doing a lot more of the metal flake stuff and fish scaling and that 70s kind of style as well. So just broaden the horizon a bit, and as you can see, it looks pretty good on.
It does, yeah.
The pinstriping on top of that stuff looks good. So yeah.
Now you want to have a crack at my motor as well. You want to do, what was the pinstriping you wanted to do on that? It was like a real old scroll or something you wanted to do to the sump?
Oh yeah, that's it. Yeah, just that sort of style around the. Yeah, they look great on that sort of stuff. Just finishes things off a little bit.
We'll have to get him over to do that, and we'll actually watch that maybe on the show as well. Look, thanks for taking the time out today, and thanks, Kurt. Over there, he's being very quiet. Kurt's come down from Victoria as well. So thanks very much, mate, and you've done a great job on my helmet. Thank you.
Thank you. Cheers.
Folks, that was the Custom Culture Weekend. I hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you all next week. Bye.
My Garage Rules is proudly sponsored by You Pull It, Sprint Auto Parts, Newlon Oils, Auto Transformers, Dickies Clothing Australia, Blue Wire Motorsport, and Geofs Garage.